And welcome back. Getting set for preseason game number 1 between the New England Patriots and the Washington Redskins on a night the humidity okay, 42%, clear conditions, and the temperature not bad. A good night for football and a good night for the New England Patriots, getting set for what should be an interesting test against the Washington Redskins. And with that, let's go down for our Putnam Investments big player of the game for Matt Chatham. We bring in our colleague Matt Chatham, Super Bowl winner for the New England Patriots 3 times. Matt, what do you got tonight?
Guys, tonight my eye is going to be on Steve Boharnis, the young second-year linebacker from Rutgers who gets the surprise start in that interior part of the defense as a linebacker behind a guy like Vince Wilfork. So in a luxury situation where he gets to sit and flow and take advantage of that 230-pound frame. A little bit of an undersized linebacker, but a guy that's very quick, that has a great first step and does a great job of getting through traffic. He did a nice job last season of establishing himself as a special teams player. Tonight he gets an opportunity to show us what he can do on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, let's take a look at the coaches. Bill Belichick in his 40th season, believe it or not, coaching in the NFL, 15th as Patriots head coach, 218 victories overall, and as we know, he has been tremendous leading this Patriots franchise. On the other side of the football, Jay Gruden, named the 29th head coach in Redskins history in January, 46 years old. Gruden is the team's youngest head coach since Hall of Famer Joe Gibbs hired at age 40 in 1981. He comes from the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's going to lead RG3 in that offense coming up here tonight.
Yeah, he's got one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. Obviously, a lot of changes with this offense, especially last year. You know, Robert Griffin III coming off that injury, trying to do his best he could. Now he's got a new coach, he's got a new offense. Hopefully they got a new attitude. It's going to be a long season. Everybody's looking forward to it.
Yeah, special teams, Scotty O'Brien getting ready. We've seen them work hard. We've seen them work long in camp so far, Christian. Special teams so important to this Patriots team. Bill Belichick all the way down.
Yeah, so many players, so many guys who come in as rookie, as free agents, undrafted free agents. They come in, they can't really find a spot in the first or second teams, but they find a spot on special teams. And if you can make it on special teams, show that you have the desire and the will to do the dirty work, then you hopefully get a chance to do some of the fun stuff like scoring touchdowns and, you know, blocking downfield. It's an exciting time right now.
As far as the weather is concerned, as you know, joint practices between these two teams all week long starting on Monday. Tuesday was a real tough one. Hazy, hot, humid conditions. They went almost 3 hours. Bill Belichick really pushing his team mentally and physically, trying to get them ready. So the conditions tonight should be just fine, Christian.
Yeah, it's nice and cool up here. It's even cooler down on the field. I mean, it was sticky, right? I mean, it was like you just walked outside and you started sweating. So this should be no big deal for them. Obviously, they ran a lot of plays Tuesday, and so a lot of those guys aren't going to play today, some of the ones and the twos, but they're going to get a lot of good reps. We'll see Ryan Mallett, he's going to start. It's going to be fun to watch him.
Yes, and Ryan Mallett will get the start for the Patriots tonight over Tom Brady, who has gotten in a lot of work so far as we get a touchback to start things off. And here comes our quarterback, Ryan Mallett, who will take things over for the New England Patriots. In his 4th season with the Pats, has thrown just 4 passes in 3 seasons. That's a good thing if you're a Patriots fan, but now an interesting thing to find out what this kid has.
Yeah, didn't have 1 snap at all last year. And again, that's a good thing. You don't want to see your backup quarterback in, but again, you know, we need to see this guy play. Hopefully I'm looking for a nice, easy pass, get some confidence, and get him going.
Yeah, the Patriots take over 1st and 10 of their own 20. Stephen Ridley carries the football out near the 25, couple of yards, where we'll have 2nd down and 8. And let's take a look at our Patriots starting offense. Brought to you by Gillette. #FlexBall, the official shave of the New England Patriots.
Here you go. You see Mallett already taking control of the huddle. That's really what you want to see. Got a lot of young guys out there right now. Justin Jones starting at tight end. You know, and you really want to see him throw that first pass. Remember, last year, they ran it every single down until they scored a touchdown.
Interesting name, Jordan Devey, to watch here. We'll keep you posted on what he does as Ridley gets the ball again for the Patriots. So it will set up about a 3rd down and call it 5. Brandon Merriweather, we know that name, making the stop. And let's take a look at the Redskins defense and what they can do. Brian Arapko, certainly one of the big names there, along with D'Angelo Hall for this Washington Redskins team. Shane Vereen Into the game now, just left of Ryan Mallett, who's called signals out of the shotgun. He's got Boyce and Tompkins left. Steps away from pressure, now throws the football complete for a Patriots first down to Brandon LaFell, one of the newcomers signed by as a free agent for this team, but we've got a flag down on this play.
Yeah, it was a great job by Ryan Mallett keeping this play alive. He got flushed out of the pocket right away.
10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So he's getting another shot to complete this third down. Obviously, that's not what you really are looking for, you know, in your first series, your first third down. I remember last year, they struggled on third down. I mean, especially 4 to 8. I mean, they could not get off the field. They could not convert. So, again, this isn't the most ideal situation, you know, for Ryan Mallett being in his first series. So look for a draw, look for a screen.
3rd and 17 at the 13. Josh Klein called for the hole, the right guard tonight. Mallett with a pass out to LaFell at the 10. Gets his way up near the 18, but that'll do it. And that'll force the Patriots to punt. Ryan Kerrigan in on the stop.
You know, it's, as far as 3rd and 17s go, you don't really have many options. Like I said, draw, screens, and right there you saw the missile screen to Brandon LaFell. You know, at least he's getting those passes out. At least he's getting those guys involved. Not the way you want to start, but I'm okay with it. You know, it was a positive fact that he was able to get in and out of the huddle.
Well, when it comes to the Patriots and their special teams players, this kid Ryan Allen earning a job and no competition coming into camp as he lets one go high and deep to Andre Roberts, who takes it at his own 30, has some running room left, and he'll be pushed out of bounds near the 45-yard line where the Redskins will take over 1st and 10. And let's meet the Patriots defense, brought to you by Gillette, #FlexBall, the official shave of the New England Patriots. Christian, a little bit of a different lineup tonight. Chris Jones in there for Rob Ninkovich. Vince Wilfork, the big name, the good name to have back if you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah, Tommy Kelly, obviously Will Smith coming over from New Orleans. Good to see him out there. Steve Boharnis, Matt talked about him a little bit. Chris White, and again in the secondary, a lot of young faces. A lot of guys might not know. Malcolm Butler, but there's a new guy, Brandon Browner. Watch him. He's right now is on the right side of the field.
Old friend Patrick Chung back, 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Gary left side, picking up a couple of yards. Alfred Morris gets it near midfield. And take a look at the Redskins' offensive familiar names. RG3, the Skins team, coming off a tough season last year, 3-13 after 10-6 the year before. They've got some work to do. And again, a new coach with an offensive system. We'll see how things click. They struggled a little bit in these joint practices so far this week, Christian. RG3 with a fake. Toss right to Jordan Reed, the big tight end, gets down near a 1st down. We'll see, it could be close, about maybe 3rd and 1. Darius Fleming out of Notre Dame with a stop for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's good to see Big Vince out there. Good to see Tommy Kelly out there. You know, a lot of new faces out there on the defense. A lot of young guys who didn't see a lot of time. You have Tavon Wilson getting a start. You know, you're going to see no Devin McCourty out there right now. But you're going to see Daron Harmon.
No measure. They just brought the chains out, and it'll be short. Call it 3rd and short. And one of the nice additions also, as we bring in Matt Chatham from field side. Matt, nice to see Tommy Kelly back, another player the Patriots getting back after suffering the injury last year.
It's really a difference maker out there on the defense. You look out, you look across, he's the first guy out the bus. He's the 6'6", 310-pound guy that can push the pocket, both with power and actually gap penetration as well. And next to him, he's got the young guy, Darian Fleming, another guy that fans will see here on your screen, their number 44, which is often a safety number. That's a linebacker down that's filling in at one of those outside spots.
3rd and short. It'll be Morris. He'll get the 1st down as the Redskins line comes up with a big push. Steve Boharnis with the stop for the Patriots.
So the Redskins, they're just going to a quick little power right here. Watch that. Everybody goes down. They wash it down. Here comes Boharnis. A little, you know, nice job filling in there and getting his head in there, but a little bit too much push by the offensive line.
1st and 10, RG3. Give again to Morris. Has some running room, pounding his way down near another first down. One thing the Washington Redskins do and do very well is run the football, as Tavon Wilson came in to make the stop.
Yeah, and in that play, they sealed the edge with Buchanan, trying to sneak inside and try and stop this play from the inside out, where Lee needs to obviously stretch it as much as he can. You see the tight end come out. They're going to reach him. They're going to try and go down on him. See, he watched him peek inside real quick. Too late. Good block downfield by the receiver.
2nd and 2 for the Patriots, 35-yard line. They'll get much more than that. It's again Morris down inside the 30 as they pound away. Patrick Chung, remember him? Patriot from 09 to 12, making the stop for New England.
Well, Christian and Dan, that's the complementary play that happens. When you've lost the edge on multiple plays, they start to loosen the edge player. Michael Buchanan plays it a little looser, a little more wide to make sure that he keeps contained on this portion, and then the play hits in the C gap. That's very much a complementary football. You got to have strong edge play, or they're going to walk the ball down the field.
1st and 10 for the Redskins. Roy Halou gets the ball this time as Morris gets a break. Gets down about the 25-yard line. Chris Jones in on the stop for the Patriots. One of the surprises last year on this team was 6 sacks.
Yeah, Chris Jones did a great job last year coming in when Tommy Kelly got hurt. Came in, filled in great, got a bunch of sacks, was really active on the front of the line. I mean, this guy just really filled a void that they were lacking. Again, second-year guy, you know, still need him on the field, still need him to make plays.
Oh, it's 2nd down and 6 to 23. RG3, little pass, right side. Nice spin move, taken all the way down by Halou. Inside the 20, close to a first down.
Yeah, Redskins doing a nice job right now, mixing up the play action pass, mixing up the run, mixing up draw. They're really throwing everything at the Patriots right now. Kind of got them on their heels right now.
I think, guys, this is a situation where we've seen no live tackling, and you're getting a little bit of overrunning plays where maybe you tag off on that thing in practice in the scrimmages. Now you have to break down and tap your feet. Guys haven't done it live. This is their first rep, and I think we're seeing some of that rustiness.
Veteran free agent James Anderson got a little dupe there, and it's Morris back into the football game for the Redskins. They'll have a first down here as the Patriots try to hold here. Tommy Kelly with the stop. Guys, you know, when they lost Wilfork, when they lost Kelly, the run defense was a concern. What needs to happen here now is they get these guys back, and as they look to, you know, become that run defense that we've seen with Wilfork leading the way.
Well, obviously having Vince back there is key. You know, Tommy Kelly is key. You know, it's getting those guys live reps is important. You know, Vince, you know, missed a ton last year, but he's back and he's healthy. And again, they just need to start having some success, and then they'll get a little more confidence.
2nd down, pass incomplete. Malcolm Butler in on the play. It looked like he was thinking pick, get out of West Alabama, and just missed.
That was a great break there by Butler. He saw that from depth. He kept his feet, kept his leverage, and made the nice break on the play. That was RG3 was lucky that one didn't get taken to the house. You could see the defensive back's eyes meet, and he had a lot of green out in front of him.
Out of West Alabama, the rookie. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 17 for RG3 as he leads the offense of this opening drive. And he's looking end zone. It's up for grabs, and it's caught. Touchdown, Aldrick Robinson. Now they're going to wave it off and say no. We'll see if he made it. Take a look.
Looks like he's got one more time. There we go.
Looks like the left hand was out of bounds, so no play.
Yeah, got his feet in bounds. Great job going up and catching that ball at the highest point. But you got to keep your body and your feet in bounds. Yeah, they're going to have to keep a field goal on this one.
Yeah, guys, I saw that down here on the sideline. That was the correct call. One hand, 1 foot. Great play there by Butler by bodying him into the sideline. That makes for a very difficult throw for the quarterback because he's widened him all the way out. He body positions and jumps right up through the pocket. It's a very difficult throw and catch.
Kai Forbath in to kick, but we got a flag before the play goes off. He kicked the goalpost, which is 5 feet higher, so it wobbled a little bit more as the ball hit the goalpost.
They are higher now.
Yeah, Matt, be careful down there.
Sure enough.
Jeff Triplett. Delay a game against the Redskins. And they'll move it back 5 yards, and it'll be a 40-yard field goal for Forbath. see one of the new changes this year. 5 feet higher. Those of you that are Patriots fans recall what happened 2 seasons ago in Baltimore when Bill Belichick thought he had a game-winning field goal. He should have had it, didn't get it. And that field goal from 40 is good by Forbath, and the Redskins are on the board. They lead by a score of 3-0. Patriots offense coming up next. Quarter preseason game number 1. The Patriots trailing the Redskins 3-0. Time now for our Gatorade Prime to perform keys to the game. Gatorade knows it all begins within for the Patriots. Win from within.
And we got Ryan's hope. That's the first one right there. And what is Ryan Mallett going to do? How can he progress as a quarterback? Can he get this team down there and drive them in for a touchdown? Running backs. Remember LeGarrette Blount last year? You know, he was one of those guys that kind of stepped up, and he really didn't know how nifty he was. He didn't know, how good of a player he was. And sure enough, in preseason, he showed how good he was. And then also you have the who can be another pass rusher. You have Chandler Jones on one side. You have Rob Ninkovich. What can we see of Jake Beckett? We're going to see him, get after the quarterback. Michael Buchanan last year had a great preseason getting after the quarterback. And of course, Will Smith coming over from New Orleans, veteran type of guy. What's he going to bring to the defensive line?
A couple of rookies, Roy Finch and James White, back at the Patriots goal line, getting set to receive the kick from Forbath. And it's high and it is deep. It's taken by Finch and he downs it right there. The Patriots will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Ryan Mallett will come out and lead the offense. Pats trail by a field goal. Stay with us. It is a gorgeous night just outside of the nation's capital as the Patriots open up their preseason, trailing the Washington Redskins 3-0. And anytime you drive near or see something like that, kind of makes you feel proud.
Make you want to stand up and salute. You start singing, "God Bless America."
I don't know about that.
You would start singing "God Bless America" in the middle of the road. You would pull your collar over and you would start singing.
I have to admit, I get a little misty-eyed when I drive by the Pentagon and everything. It's just a feeling of pride. All right, here we go with Ryan Mallett, his second series at the helm, taking over. 1st and 10, the ball thrown down low to Brandon LaFell. And again, Christian, we talk about consistency with Ryan Mallett. They need to see that consistency. Something like that really kind of gets you a little bit if you're watching him play.
Well, you got to make these easy throws. I know there was a defender at his feet a little bit, wasn't able to step into this throw as much as he wanted to, but that ball can't hit the dirt. That ball's got to be right at his chest. It's an easy catch, run after catch, especially if he puts it right on him.
Wide open. You got Brian Timms right, far right, Kenbrell Tompkins far left with Boyce and LaFell, and now Vereen in motion. 2nd and 10. Mallett steps up, pressure, and he's sacked. No time there. He got hit hard, he got hit early, and he goes down. Brian Arapko, we've seen that before.
Yeah, and Brian Arapko, Nate Solder had a rough time with him during camp, and nobody really saw it, but here he sneaks right inside Nate Solder. Really got to protect your inside first, make him go outside. You can never give away the inside. Now, Nate Solder's been doing this a long period of time. We think he would know better, but again, live now, and probably a mistake on his part.
Well, 3rd and 15 at the 15. Patriots going to run the football. That was Shane Vereen getting out over the 20, about the 21-yard line.
Guys, we talked about this a lot in the opener. I mean, we're out here trying to evaluate Ryan Mallett, and Christian, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, there was a bad throw as a drive start, but without the establishment of some sort of run game, some sort of get the drive going kind of thing, you're behind the 8 ball each and every down. 2nd and long, 3rd and then long, and then we're in this screen and just get back on track and hurry the punt team out. That's not kind of the scenario where it's very difficult to evaluate your young quarterback.
Yeah, and you know what, Matt? That's the type of play, an easy play, easy read. You're not looking at coverage. You're not worried about the blitz. It's a quick throw. You really need to be able to hit that throw to give yourself some confidence, and that's what Josh McDaniels does.
Absolutely. That's why they do it.
Yeah, 3 and out, not what you need right there. Redskins will take over when we return. Patriots trailing 3-0.
Well, this is an incredible job here by Davis. The NFL might have a different point of view on this because he's really supposed to be dead once his helmet comes off. But it's a great effort by this guy, going down, hustling, beating the vice, getting back in bounds as soon as he quickly can, and then making the play. Make the officials stop you from playing football. He did a nice job there.
No one watching all these practices so far. Kenoris Davis has been working real hard with Scotty O'Brien, trying to get that position down as the gunner. Here's Kirk Cousins into the game, throws the ball, near interception, by the Patriots. The ball goes out of bounds. So Kirk Cousins, their backup into the game, can't connect with Aldrick Robinson.
Now you watch this Kirk Cousins now in the ball game. He's got his first option is to throw this ball to the flat to the tight end. He's covered. So then he's going to throw deep. And what great position by Butler. Has a chance to make a play. You got to bring that down. Great position, though. They're going to have to start over again.
One of those situations, Christians, where you look down and you cannot distinguish who's the receiver and who's the defensive back. He's essentially running that flag route for the wide receiver. Great job there by Butler.
Kirk Cousins into the game for RG3, third-year quarterback out of Michigan State, has looked very good in the joint practices. And the Redskins run the football again out near midfield. And it looks like we get a flag of the play. I believe it's against Washington.
Repeat, second down.
Referee Jeff Triplett with the call. And the Redskins will repeat second down. It's Jay Gruden, new man taking over for Mike Shanahan here in Washington. Coming from Cincinnati where he led that offense. Second and 15 at the 35. Cousins looks over the middle, wide open receiver. And there goes Santana Moss carrying the football. He gets a gain of 16 on the play.
This is a great push by number 71, Zach Moore, rookie out of Concordia. Watch him get right underneath his pads, pushing him back, almost gets a hand on him, and Kirk Cousins does a great job of getting rid of that ball.
Yeah, the thing you like about that, Christian, is he felt the offensive tackle start to shift his weight. Got great push, and at that point where it's like, you know what, he's going to catch his own leverage, then he dropped his hands and dipped. That's a really nice move by a relatively raw guy from a small school.
That was Halou with the reception there. And the first down for the Redskins. Rolling out goes Cousins. Got another wide open receiver and plenty of running room going up the right side. And the Redskins continue to roll here.
Yeah, the Redskins have had a lot of success running the football, so obviously play action pass comes into it.
Let's listen to this.
Everybody's head down.
A little better effort there by the Patriots. Here's Cousins. Time, plenty of time. Throws over the middle, incomplete. Off the hands, ball falls loose. And Roy Halou with the little bit of the miscue.
You know, plenty of time for him to throw that ball. And again, just like Ryan Mallett on his second series pass that was incomplete that he threw into the dirt. Easy pass. Sit back there, lots of space, lots of time to make an easy throw. Got to give those guys those passes right on their chest.
Guys, we have, no Rob Ninkovich tonight starting, no Chandler Jones, but Patriots fans, you alluded to your three keys, Christian. Want to see pressure. Where's the pressure coming from against a guy like Cousins? Second and 10. And a little run here by Cousins.
Hold,
a bit of a broken play and a hold. You get a little mess going on everywhere. Yeah, that wasn't pretty. Not sneaky, ugly.
James Anderson just said, listen, that's a don't kill my quarterback block.
Holding. Number 76 in the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Guys, we discussed this a little bit in our production meetings here. You're getting to see here in this replay some situations that'll carry over to later in the season. We're seeing a lot of move the pocket, a lot of dash pass, a lot of things that take place outside of where a traditional offensive tackle box would be. Think Geno Smith with the New York Jets. Think of some of the other games down the road. That's why these preseason games can be valuable, because you can find technique and issues in there that repeat themselves later in the season.
Second and 18 at the 40-yard line. And they run the football up the middle, down to about the 35. That's Halou. Set up a third long. Malcolm Butler, Patrick Chung among those that are in the lineup for the Patriots tonight. No Devin McCourty, no Darrelle Revis. We don't see Revis. And again, the Patriots were pushed really hard. About a 3-hour practice on Tuesday in the hot heat humidity. Looks like Bill Belichick, as we see the man, I think Bill Belichick decided to hold back a little bit here.
Well, those guys got a lot of reps, almost 90 plays, and some of the ones got up to 70 reps. That's more than they would get in any regular season game.
Third and 12. Cousins just throws it away.
So that's a hold right now on Browner. That's the point of emphasis. We're going to see this again. That's the one thing the refs are going to be looking at. And you watch Aldrick Robinson. He's going to run a deep out. And Browner.
Illegal contact. Offense number 39.
Oh, okay.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
This is part of the new, or I shouldn't say new, more stricter and strictly enforced rules on cornerbacks here that we are going to see, especially a lot in the preseason.
So here it goes. So you're going to see him. Aldrick Robinson is going to run this route real quick. He's going to push up to that outside shoulder, and you can't even put your hand on him anymore. Watch him stop real quick and look at just a little bit of grab. As insignificant as that seems to all of us watching TV, they're going to call that, and they're going to call it a lot.
Automatic first down. Redskins will run the football, get nowhere. Nice recovery there as Halou carried, and Browner came back from his penalty, and now a little extracurricular activity is going to cause a flag.
Well, listen, the refs are practicing too. It's their preseason. You're going to see a lot of them.
After the play is over, personal foul, number 99, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Michael Buchanan, second-year defensive end out of Illinois with the issue. So take a look at what happened.
So he gets... See the top of your screen. See, he got blocked by Paulson. He just kind of gives him a little bit of push at the end of the play because he just got hooked. Let's see his hand. He's right up in his chin. No contact whatsoever to any part of the helmet of the defenseless player. Hey, you know, listen, if you get knocked on your back and you get hooked, you know, I can understand you being a little angry.
Well, that'll drive your coach crazy, too. First and 10. Here's Halou. Nice tackle just outside the 10 by Chung. We've seen that before.
Yeah, guys, we got to see a lot of that in these preseason practices. Patrick Chung has really been the guy on the back end that has come up from depth and done some thudding, doing some hitting, some things that you're not used to seeing in a lot of these practices since the CBA has kind of taken over and softened things a bit. He's been an exceptional tackler in his career. The role changed a bit because coverage isn't always his thing, but he's really been a tone setter in these early sequences of practices.
Second and 7. Another carry up the middle. Halou goes nowhere. Good defense by the Pats there will force a third down. Chris Jones among the stoppers there for Matt Patricia's defense. Third and 5. We see Deron Harmon come into the game for the Patriots. One of those competing for the starting job next to Devin McCourty.
And we talked about who's going to get after the quarterback. You got Will Smith there, number 9. He's on the field. You got Zach Moore playing that right defensive end on the left side.
Third and 5. Cousins throws complete. Touchdown over the middle. Aldrick Robinson. Redskins on the board again.
Here's Aldrick Robinson right here. Watch it, just a quick slant. Going to get inside of, there he goes right there. One step, bam, the ball's out. Safety can't get over there to cause any disruption, and it's an easy catch.
And the important aspect there, guys, is his initial leverage was inside, so you're essentially aligning inside to prevent an inside release. That's basically the one place you can't have the receiver go. He took the little hop step, and it was an easy pitch and catch.
Zach Parker with the extra point. It's good. Cousins to Robinson. Touchdown, Redskins. They're up by 10. Patriots about to receive the football. Got some work to do. 2:18 left to go here in the first quarter. Patriots trailing by a score of 10-0 after the Cousins to Robinson touchdown to give them a little extra cushion.
Yeah, and again, it's just a quick slant. Logan Ryan gets beat real quickly. He had help inside, but it's such a quick throw and it's such a good route that the safety's not able to get over there and help him. You know, Matt, when you saw that play, was he giving away the inside on purpose, or do you think he should have been a little bit more heavy-handed on the inside?
Yeah, you're there to disrupt the route. You may have outside leverage, but you have to flatten the slant route. You can't allow it to advance vertically because your safety has no chance of getting there. It's one thing to give away the leverage. It's another thing to completely hop out of the route.
Hawker with the kick. Roy Finch with the carry out of the end zone to the 10, 15, gets out near the 20, now still on his feet, 20, 25, 30, little juke. Oh, fumbles the football, pops it up, and Washington is going to recover the football. You don't want to do that. You're down by 10. You fumble the football. Roy Finch, the rookie, gives it up.
He was getting some great blocks. He made some great moves, broke a couple tackles. Watch him. Look at the way he's holding the football like a loaf of bread. I know he's young. I know he hasn't been in this situation before. Once you start dancing around, once you start trying to make too many moves, that's when you get yourself in trouble. Special teams, kickoff return, punt. Make one cut, get upfield, don't dance. Bad things happen. Even though that was slight and he made a great run, but things like that happen when you start dancing around.
It's one of those things, Christian, in the NFL where I think young players are often surprised by the speed of pursuit. You make that great juke early. You make some guys miss. You're in the open. You feel college, maybe even high school, where there you're used to being in the open, be able to pull away from guys. Pursuit is faster in the NFL. You make the first guy miss, you make the second guy miss. There's 8 more guys coming, so it's a learning situation there for the young man. He did a great job on the initial portion of it, but you get upended a bit with a really bad decision at the end to not put that thing away.
Ross Madison with the recovery. Guys, you don't normally see Bill Belichick go right over to a player after a play like that, but both Belichick and O'Brien went over to Roy Finch, and it looks like they're going to do it again here, re-kick it. And we get an offside penalty on the kicking team. Guys, what did you think about Bill Belichick going over to talk to Finch and still talking to him?
Well, I mean, I guess you want to get coached up always, and you never really feel good about a situation like that. Usually that's a long walk with your head down, but again, he lucked out on this one. That basically erases that major fumble, and he's going to get another chance because it's 10 yards back, and they're going to get another chance to return this one.
He's right back out there along with James White, the 2 rookies. Parker will kick it again from the 30, and it's Finch again at his own 1-yard line. 10, out to the 20, still on his feet, gets tripped up, nearly broke, gets to the 23-yard line, where the Pats will start first and 10. And when we come back, we'll hear from Andy Hart and Paul Perillo, Patriots Football Weekly, back in our Gillette Stadium studio. Back in FedEx Field, Patriots down 10-0 to the Redskins. Let's bring in a couple of gentlemen who know some Patriots football back in our Bob's Discount Furniture studios. We say hello to Paul Perillo and Andy Hart. Gentlemen.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that doesn't look like we're going to get a chance to see Darrelle Revis tonight at all, but there are some young defensive backs that I've been noticing throughout camp, and Malcolm Butler has been one of them, and I think he has had excellent coverage early on in this game. He's taken advantage of his opportunities out there, and he made a great play in the end zone on Robinson, so I've been really impressed with him throughout camp.
I've been interested with the offensive line. We opened up, and we know there's competition there. We only had a couple starters from last year returning. We had Marcus Cannon at right tackle for just a couple plays. Then Vollmer comes in. We got Jordan Devy at left guard. We got Josh Klein at right guard, Dan Conley at center. There is definitely an open competition for some spots on that offensive line.
Thanks, guys. We've got a little bit of a situation. Ryan Mallett gets banged up as he carries the football. As the rush came around him, looks like he hurt it a little bit as his left knee hit the ground.
Well, and again, it seems like he was a little jittery back there. That was a play-action pass, and didn't really even give that play time to develop. It wasn't really flushed out of the pocket. He just felt the heat and got out of there and didn't slide too well.
2nd and 7, and it's James White on the carry. Breaks a tackle, gets near the 30-yard line. The rookie out of Wisconsin. Take a look at Ryan Mallett here, just like he's fixing his equipment. Tries to bounce back.
At 6'6", he's a little bit further from the earth, guys. You saw a guy that did not look comfortable sliding. Again, that's not something you see Tom and these guys work on much in practice. It's sort of a situation where you learn on the fly, and he looked a little uncomfortable in that particular play.
And we'll see if Mallett can make a play here on 3rd and 4. Time winding down in the first quarter. Got White and Perrine in the backfield. Throws the ball complete. And that will be a first down for the New England Patriots into the hands of Kenbrell Tompkins.
And that was a great job by Matt. Looked like there's a flag on the play, but nice easy read. Kenbrell Tompkins does a nice quick out, takes his drop back, steps into it, throws it, and that's what Ryan Mallett is good at. Got that big, strong arm. Didn't think about it too much. We'll see what the penalty is.
Offside offense. Number 82. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Josh Boyce with the offside, and again, Little mistakes here. Something that Bill Belichick can't be pleased with that we're seeing early on, Christian.
Yeah, they played so well during the last 2 practices with the Redskins, and this is Ryan Mallett's 3rd series and really hasn't been able to get anything going. Now is in a tough 3rd down situation, but he's still got lots of options, still got lots of time left on the clock.
3rd and 9. Time winding down here in the first quarter. Mallett pressured, throws, complete. Boyce over the 40-yard line, and he'll have a first down. When we return, we'll see if the Patriots can keep this drive going. After 1 quarter of play here, preseason game number 1, Washington leads at 10-0. We'll be back with more on the Patriots preseason television network after these messages.
And here's what you like about Ryan Mallett. You see him a little inconsistent up and down. We're gonna do that right after this play.
1st and 10 for the Patriots, just starting the 2nd quarter. Thanks for joining us here. Preseason game number 1. Patriots going to run the football, taking a bounce outside as James White. He really gets no yardage on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I want to go back to that play, that last 3rd down play that Ryan Mallett completed. Now, he's been up and down so far in this game, but here's what I love about it. Here's what you like about Ryan Mallett. You're going to watch this play, and you're going to see him almost get a lot of push from the inside out. That's what they want to do with Ryan Mallett. They want to attack him from the inside so he can't run away. Sure enough, they run the blitz, they go inside, he steps into it, he throws it complete to Josh Boyce.
2 for 3, 21 yards on this drive. Mallett, time, throws the ball complete, and it'll be close to a first down for Brandon LaFell, but we've got a flag on the play.
Holding. Defense number 38. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So now you think Ryan Mallett getting himself in a nice little rhythm here, Dan. 2 completions, 2 good throws, setting his feet, good base, good balance, follow through, stepping into it. Very accurate when he just allows himself to play football when he's not thinking so much.
Patriots have a first down, and they'll run the football. And it'll be James White, rookie out of Wisconsin. As we see another helmet fly off here tonight. It's been an intense week between these 2 teams. The joint practices on Monday and Tuesday, a bit more of a walkthrough on Wednesday, but they've been going at it pretty good. And the joint practices are something it seems like Bill Belichick likes to have with his team.
Yeah, and they really need to show that physicality because you have to be able to run the ball. Obviously, you want to work that play action passing in there.
2nd and 4. White again. It's a little bit of a push. Have some work to do to get a first down, but James White, one of those rookies we've heard a lot about here for this Patriots team. The kid out of Wisconsin certainly has made some impressions, some nice impressions early on in camp.
He has, guys, and the thing with James White, coming from Wisconsin, one of the better rushing attacks in all of college football, playing in some schemes that are actually comparable to some of the stuff we saw the Patriots do last year with Devlin as a fullback, some of the power scheme stuff where a guard is pulling. We know we see Logan Mankins doing that a lot, and Danny Connolly. So it's the kind of look that James is going to have in front of him that's very similar to what he's used to seeing in college. That's a nice little bump, a little head start for a guy who's trying to get acclimated to a new league and a new speed.
Incomplete pass there on 3rd down from Mallett to Brandon LaFell. And the Patriots will be forced to punt. Ryan Allen back out of the field for New England. Patriots still haven't been able to sustain a drive yet under Ryan Mallett, who started the game, just joining us. Tom Brady getting the night off to begin with, at least. And the kick, nicely done. Justin Green into the hands of him right at about the 1-yard line, where the Washington Redskins will start against the Patriots defense. When we return, Patriots down 10-0 early on, 2nd quarter.
Club, complete with giveaways, event.
Penalty here. Now we'll go to break. Penalty against New England. And again, see the Patriots defense coming up. Time now for our Verizon positional lineup. Brought to you by Verizon. Never miss a Patriots game this season with the combined power of NFL Mobile and Fios Quantum TV and Internet exclusively from Verizon. And here's our positional battle. Cornerbacks, you got a lot of them out there. Of course, Revis atop that leaderboard right there coming out of the chute. Let's go to Paul Perillo and Andy Hart back in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Guys, what do you think as this all unfolds, as we'll see it unfold throughout the preseason?
Well, Dan, I think the first thing that you notice, it's the deepest cornerback position we've seen in New England in a long time. And then the other aspect is I think a lot of people have anointed Brandon Browner the starter. First of all, he's going to miss the first 4 games with a suspension. And we've already seen tonight that he may have some issues with the illegal touching downfield and the referees focusing on that a little more. I don't think Dennard, who we haven't seen practice yet, is just going to give that job up.
No, and I also like Logan Ryan and Kyle Arrington, that battle in the slot. But the younger guys, I talked about Butler earlier. I also like Travis Hawkins. We haven't seen a lot of him yet, if he's played at all. But he's a guy who's shown up a little bit at safety. So those secondary spots, I think there's a lot of depth here, like Andy said. And I think there's some good young talent as well.
Chris Thompson with a carry for the Washington Redskins as they start deep in their own territory on the 1-foot line as James Anderson with the tackle. Well, you look at the quarterback position, and obviously Revis is the number 1 there. And again, there are some interesting battles as far as who gets in there behind Revis, as he will lead the way here, and we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, you know, Browner is going to have some issues just based on the fact that he's used to grabbing and holding, and that's kind of been his fail-safe situation. When he gets into trouble, he grabs. You saw it. He already had one holding call already today. He's going to have to find a way to kind of tame that a little bit. And when he gets into a jam, just allow the play to just develop on his own and make a tackle.
Well, Logan Ryan got beat there by Aldrick Robinson. Tavon Wilson also there on the stop as Cousins and Robinson hook up again. What are you seeing here on this?
Well, again, it's just going to be a nice little quick quick slant, deep slant, and he's wide open. The linebacker can't get deep enough to get into that throwing lane, and Kirk Cousins does a great job of just putting it on him. Aldrick Robinson's having a really nice game right now. They can't slow him down.
Chris Thompson with a carry for the Redskins. They get the ball to the 30-yard line. Let's bring in Matt Chatham. Matt, what have you seen from the corners so far besides Revis and Browner?
Well, let me first piggyback on the Browner point. I like the idea that I think he's going to have had sort of that light go on in his head that, hey, it may not work as I'd like to do it, but I'm also going to give the guy credit. He's a veteran. He's 30. He knows what he's doing. He tests the limits. He now found out what they were awful early. I'd say in the same right, he's not going to give it up by being stupid. He's been on about a penalty a game rate when he was with the Seahawks. I think now he comes in. He understands where that line in the sand is. It's going to be an interesting situation. Understand, he's the big body, and there's a lot of big-bodied wide receivers on this schedule for the Patriots throughout the course of this regular season. You don't necessarily have to move Revis to a body-type match. I think Browner gives you that ability, but he does have to watch the hands. I'll also give him credit as an older guy. He'll figure it out.
And at the same time, Matt, you know, whenever they make these points of emphasis for the refs, when the refs do this, they're heavy with throwing the flags early in the season, early in the preseason, into the regular season. Then it kind of tapers off a little bit. Then it really kind of goes away in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. Nobody wants a big play to end with a penalty. So, again, the refs will get used to it. He'll figure it out. They'll lighten up a little bit. But, again, you just can't give up that big, giant play.
Sure, and I really like Paul's point from earlier. I think it's valid that, you know what, Alfonso Dennard has been there in that role for 2 years and has really been sort of found gold for them coming in as a 7th rounder. He's been a little banged up. We haven't seen him. I like the idea that it's not necessarily being seeded. I think they have some ability here to be flexible, to do body type match. There could be weeks where either one of them are in there, regardless, you know, once these come back off the suspension. They have flexibility, and that's the beauty with this particular situation.
We saw Cousins to Thompson for the first down, and there we get a flag play for a little extracurricular activity on the completion to Ryan Grant from Cousins. Like Malcolm Butler may get flagged here for New England.
After the player is out of bounds, personal foul, number 29 in the defense. Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Malcolm Butler out of West Alabama. Also went to played at Maryland. A little undersized but bulky, and watch him. Just kind of gives him a little bit too much. Yeah, you can't do that. When he's out of bounds, just kind of back off and let him go, and especially don't throw him to the ground.
Don't tackle him.
Don't tackle him out of bounds.
Little over-anxious Evan Royster with a carry for the Redskins. They have the first down in New England Patriots territory down to about the 35-yard line. They'll set up a second down situation here for Washington. Well, what lesson learned here from Malcolm Butler for a kid? You know, when they go back and watch the film, what kind of things is Bill yelling at that point? Christian, you guys have been in these meetings.
I think, you just get a little bit too anxious, and, you want to make a play, and obviously you're not aware of the surroundings, and that's part of, growing up as a NFL football player. You got to know what's going on. You got to know where the sidelines are, because plays like that, I know it's a preseason game, but at the same time, you're allowed to make that mistake once.
Yeah, guys, and Christian, we both know this. Being as young players in some of these early games, you're really just getting your feet wet. It's just bright lights and chaos around you. The grade sheet for a young guy will often just look like a roller coaster. Lots of highs, lots of lows. The consistency is not usually there. You're sort of learning the ropes on your go, and you're going to really sort of go through this maturation process, hopefully as quickly as possible. But the learning curve's got to be quick. Through these 4 games, you're going to experience things you've never experienced before. You just can't make the mistake twice.
You saw Malcolm Butler, and here's Royster again up the middle on first down. And guys, he's a Division II player trying to make an NFL roster. We see it from time to time. Patriots have some interesting players on the roster that they'll take a look at. Zach Moore is another one from Concordia State. What's that like? What's the feeling like trying to make it from a Division II school into the NFL?
Well, Matt would know more than I would.
Yeah, I'm from the University of South Dakota, Division II school, 1AA now. I guess they're calling it something else. I'm lost with the times, but yeah, I think your situation is you're immediately thrown onto the field, and you're seeing these guys you've seen on TV and in video games, posters on your wall, all that kind of stuff. But you have to go and compete with them. You really have to pay no attention to what's on the back of the jersey and just go out and play football. The quicker a guy learns that, the better impact he'll have.
Evan Royster roughed up there by another rookie. Darius Fleming. I should make that Chris Thompson with the carry. Fleming with the stop out of Notre Dame.
Watch Cameron Fleming right here. He's going to come off the edge. Beat the block inside. The tight end just kind of walks right around him, doesn't even pay attention to him, and gets an easy tackle.
Second-year player out of Chicago, University of Notre Dame. Trying to make this Patriot squad. 3rd and 13 now for Washington. 7 to go left. Second quarter. Complete to Thompson. Brought down there by Kyle Arrington and Logan Ryan.
We talked about this a little bit throughout the week, guys, some of the issues that they've had with third down last season. And going into this year, one of the ways to really mitigate problems with that is gang tackling. The idea that there's several hats on the ball, plenty of bodies, so that it doesn't have to be an open field tackle. You use your buddy, you use your leverage, and you make sure you're tackling half of your man. You've seen some improved tackling here in the last couple of plays, something that hurt them a little earlier in the game, but now things have settled down. They're slowing each other and kind of using some of the practice learning out here now on the game field.
Kai Forbath in to attempt a 46-yard field goal. That is good. No good, rather. They miss it. He missed it. And when we come back, Patriots ball once again. Pats down by 10 with some work to do. 10-0. Patriots trail the Redskins, and it's time now for the injury report, brought to you by Optum, a health services and technology company on a mission to help make healthcare healthier. To learn more, visit Optum.com.
All right, we look at all the injury reports. Look at all the guys. The one guy I'm looking at, and I'm sure everybody else is that guy right there. Not the Who man. This guy right here, Rob Gronkowski. Didn't get to make the trip, but he's been practicing. He's been doing a lot of individual work, working with the quarterbacks, getting some reps, getting his win back, getting back in football shape. And I tell you what, they need him so badly in this offense. They need a guy that can control the middle of the field between the numbers. That's going to open up so many different things. So the big question is, will he be ready week 1? So far, we're not really sure yet, but it sure is good watching him out there.
Ricky Jonas-Gray into the game, gets his second straight carry. Undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame. As Patriots run the football here the first 2 plays of this series. Andy Hart back in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Andy, your thought on what you saw on that injury report?
Well, I think we all know how important Gronkowski is. We also know what he is when he's on the field. Aaron Dobson is a guy we don't know what he can be. He missed the bulk of the offseason with a foot injury, continues to be on PUP. He could be a guy that may start the year on PUP. And when you're talking about a year 2 jump, to miss the entire offseason, I'm just starting to wonder if he's ever going to be able to maximize what he should be in year 2 for this offense.
Well, there's a guy that may be able to help out James Devlin. Goes head on there and gets the first down on the completion by Mallett, and it'll be a first down for New England.
Is this a fullback? I mean, is this a
believe
fullback
so,
or a tight end?
Christian, that's a fullback.
I thought I saw a unicorn, but okay. Watch him just go right to the flat. They run this play all the time. Great catch, great afterward, and look at him. That's what I love. Lowering the boom, trying to make contra, trying to make people pay for tackling.
Pick up a 13 on the play, and Jonas Gray gets the call there. James Devlin, again, for those of you just joining us, Rob Gronkowski not here with this football team. DJ Williams was dinged up in the joint practices. Hooman has been hurt earlier in camp. Justin Jones and Asa Watson were your 2 tight ends coming in. James Devlin is an interesting name to throw here into the mix. It's a kid that can do a lot of things, maybe for this offense.
Special teams fullback. Not sure if he can put his hand on the ground to be the point of attack so far, but so far he's done everything they've asked him to do.
2nd and 7, incomplete to Tompkins, and we've got a flag on the play.
Number 46 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Illegal contact called against the Washington Redskins, and you're going to see that. Again, these are the calls that are being called tightly against guys on the defense. And, you know, Will Compton with the call, the illegal hand to the face there on the play by Tompkins. But I want to get back to Ryan Mallett after this play here for the Patriots on first down. It's Gray, and he gets nowhere. That throw, even though there was a penalty called on the play, again, inconsistency with Mallett. He hit the feet. He threw it at the feet of Kenbrell Tompkins. And again, that's the inconsistency we see out of Mallett.
It drives you a little bit crazy, quite honestly, when you see what he's capable of doing. Then you see the plays like he had in the first quarter where he threw the ball into the dirt. And you see another play like this where I know there was a holding call. I know it wasn't completed, but give your receiver a chance. And these guys can catch the ball. You just got to, sometimes he steps into it, and he throws a great ball. Next time you know, you don't know what he's even thinking about.
2nd and 10 at the Washington 36. Mallett with time, throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Boyce.
He's not too happy with the route. It looks like he wanted Boyce to go up the field. Instead, he kept trying to work the middle of the field. And that's... So here's Boyce right here. There he is right there. Run it. Here he goes. So he's going to run up. Now he's got to read. Now the safety, the corner just kind of sits there. What Mallett wants them to do is to take this up. Safeties were split. Could have had an easy completion. Both guys didn't know what was going on. Incomplete.
See what he does, 3rd and 10, and he gets another receiver not looking. That was Finch out of the backfield. And
now Finch wasn't even ready for this ball. Finch thought he was running a wheel route and he didn't have to look. Obviously Mallett saw something else, wanted to get rid of the ball right away. So watch that. He's gonna feel a little bit of pressure right here to the left. Well, no, he didn't even feel any pressure. What he needs to do is wait for that play to get open, because if you give Finch just another second, he's running right by that linebacker and you have an easy throw.
Stephen Gostkowski in to attempt a 54-yard field goal, coming off a brilliant year last year, on his way, and it hits the goalpost and is no good.
You know, just going back to that last throw by Mallett.
We'll do that when we return, but that's the way things have gone here in the first half for the Patriots as they trail 10-0. 3:31 to go in the first half. Patriots trail the Washington Redskins 10-0 here in our first preseason game. Dan Roach, Christian Fourier up high in the booth. Matt Chatham down below in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Paul Perillo and Andy Hart will be with you throughout the preseason, breaking down this Patriots team. A lot of high expectations here. So far, a lot of starters being rested tonight, but kind of a bit of a struggle in this first half. It'll be Evan Royster on the carry for the Washington Redskins. And we're, again, a lot of equipment coming off tonight of these players. Helmets, shoes. Well, you got a little yard sale out there.
And this is a stage of the game, guys, where, Christian, you know this, we're seeing super basic offense. We saw a lot of move the pocket, some more unique things earlier. Now you got 2 tight ends in the game, 2 backs in the backfield, direct runs. They get to play base 3-4. Everything's kind of in your lap. Just see who can play ball.
2nd down, 8. Cousins Complete. Ryan Grant, and he'll have a first down as he goes out of bounds.
Another flag, though.
Butler and Harmon on the coverage.
Face mask, number 90 in the defense. 15 yards and at the end of the play, first down.
Will Smith, the veteran, with the penalty, signed as a free agent by the Pats.
Here's Will Smith right here. Now watch him go. Ball snapped. Right up to the face. Now that's another point of emphasis that they're going to be calling. No hands whatsoever to the face, whether it's incidental or not, on accident. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of it. You got to keep your hands away from his helmet, away from his face mask.
We talked a lot about the new rules this morning, had a conference call. One of them, again, illegal hands to the face. Referees, officials watching that tightly on a 1st and 10. Carry for the Washington Redskins, Evan Royster. As we come closer to the 2-minute warning, Tavon Wilson with the stop. Will Smith, an interesting guy to watch on this Patriots defense, free agent. Again, veteran.
Coming off an injury, trying to make a team. You know, you want that veteran presence, right? You know, you want that guy that's been to Super Bowls and had a lot of success, you know, can help out the younger players.
And he hurt the knee in New Orleans as a 3-4, trying to make the move to defensive end. Now they've moved him back inside.
All right, we'll come back. There's your 2-minute warning. Patriots defense needs to make a stand as they trail 10-0 here in preseason game number 1. Time now for our Bank of America trivia question. Tonight's trivia brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. Name the 3 cornerbacks born in Pennsylvania who played for the Patriots since 2000.
All right, so I know you were at the Ty Law Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Matt. So I know two guys.
You got 2.
I got 2. I got Ty Law and
Yeah.
I got Darrell Revis.
There you go.
That's a definite.
We'll give you a hint, too.
Do you have a number 3, Matt?
Well, Christian played with one of them, so
That doesn't mean I should know who it is.
Do you have any Penn Staters at some point in the last 15 years?
2nd down and 6. Defense needs to rise up. Royster on the carry. It'll be short. It'll set up a 3rd down. And Zach Moore into the tackle. Let's answer our trivia question. Yep, that's one of them. Yep. Name the 3 cornerbacks born in Pennsylvania who played for the Patriots since 2000. There you go,
Hank
the man in
Poteet.
the middle. Hank Poteet.
Well, you're telling me, so Matt played with him also.
Yes, absolutely. Hank Poteet.
Big chance for the defense on 3rd and 1. Did they get it? No. Like the Redskins will have a 1st down, and time winding down in this first half. They'll get it. And speaking of Ty Law, Darrell Revis, tell you something special about them. We've got the injury on the field too, and here's a replay.
Watch Tavon Wilson right here. Come across from the ball snap. Watch him get really flat and stop the back. Watch. End goes in. Will Smith goes in. Avoids the block. Look at that. That's a great job by Tavon Wilson.
There's a player down for the New England Patriots. We'll have that for you when we return. Time winding down to the first half. Patriots trailing 10-0. You don't like to see this. Health is priority number 1 of the preseason. Chris Jones coming off under his own power, but he goes down.
There
It looks like a knee.
There he is right there. Just watch him. Watch Borston gets knocked into him. Kind of just clips his knee a little bit right there.
Hope he's okay. Here's Cousins on the throw. It's complete on 1st down.
And guys, Chris Jones has really been one of the real bright spots in training camp here for the Patriots. We had lots of nice stories last year when Vincent and Tommy Kelly went down. Chris Jones, Joe Villano, Silver Salinga coming in and providing some nice buffer there for the losses that happened. But as I've watched Chris Jones throughout this preseason, he doesn't look like a nice 2013 story. He looks like a nice NFL pro. He's extremely disruptive. He wins his one-on-ones. He's a guy, provided this isn't a serious injury, but I think is going to be a big addition to this defense. He wins, and he's got an incredible motor.
2nd and 4, incomplete to Ryan Grant. Malcolm Butler with the breakup. Jones 6 sacks last year as a rookie. Real big contributor out of Bowling Green.
Well, Christian, we spent a lot of time in pre-production talking about the new rules emphasis where the offensive linemen are not only not allowed to go across the back of the legs, but the side. You can't prevent that when it's your own player.
Yeah.
That's essentially the part of the body they're trying to protect, but when it's your own guy, there's not much you can do.
3rd and 4 at the 9. The throw is incomplete. Butler again, Grant again. Those two going at it.
That looked like the same play earlier. Here you go right now. Watch him trying to get this inside move. Again, nice quick slant, pushes up a little bit. And Butler does a good job of keeping contact, but not holding.
You know what? One of the great things about Butler thus far is his patience. He's a guy that doesn't look panicked. He doesn't look overwhelmed by the guy in front of him. He took a nice read step with his inside leg, wasn't shaken by the stick at the top of the route, was able to flatten it and be a part of the play.
And Zach Hawker with the field goal attempt, and it is good for the Patriots, the Redskins, with 36 seconds left to go in the first half, as Washington now leads 13-0.
Yeah, you know what, Matt? You know, you talk about his patience, and the natural reaction would be to, when you feel yourself being pushed off on, to kind of grab just out of habit to kind of recover and to make up some ground. You know, in that time for a guy that young to be able just to kind of be patient, ride along with it, and just trust that everything is going to happen.
All right, let's talk about what's coming up at halftime. During the Geico halftime report, our own Steve Burton will have that for you. Part of our broadcast team once again, and a very special feature that we touched upon. How about this? Scott Zolak's going to sit down with two of the all-time greats. You can say that. Revis, Ty Law.
Well, yeah, Ty Law, definitely one of the all-time greats. Discussing Ty Law, not only for the Patriots Hall of Fame, but for the NFL Hall of Fame. And Revis wearing the same number. A lot of pressure on that young man right there, wearing number 24. Teddy Bruschi talked about it. Rodney Harrison talked about it. You know, those are big shoes to fill.
Hey guys, I was there with Darrell when he came into the NFL as a rookie, and I can tell you I have not seen a pro at any level in any of those years that I played that was as veteran ready as he was as a rookie. The guy got it right off the bat.
There's the kick. James White with the return. Up to the 20, up to the 25. For more on Darrelle Revis, let's go back to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Here's Paul Perillo. Paul?
You know, it's amazing how impressive Darrelle Revis has been throughout training camp. I mean, almost every day he's shutting someone down. I mean, it's almost like Randy Moss was back in 07, just effortless with the technique and the ability. One thing to keep in mind, though, Dan, you brought up that practice earlier, the 3-hour practice on Tuesday. Looked like he was a little bit fatigued at the end of that, maybe tweaked something. I wonder if that had something to do with the fact that we haven't seen him tonight, but really off the charts. This guy is at the top of his game. People say he's the best corner in football, and if you're watching practice every day, you can see why.
31 seconds to go. Pass from Mallett is incomplete, and guys, Mallett struggled here in this first half. His opportunity, again, fourth-year player, has only thrown 4 passes over his first 3 years, but again, inconsistent here. Probably the best word in the first half.
And again, he's got a lot of time here. He gets a little bit of pressure from the inside, but he's not stepping into his throws. Maybe he's a little bit nervous about getting hit, but you can see the frustration just in the body language, and that's what you don't want to see.
2nd and 10, 4 for 9. Last 3 incomplete. A little jump pass intended for Roy Finch, thrown over his head. It'll be 3rd down with 22 seconds left.
I think we see in a quarterback here in Ryan Mallett that needs to step into throws, as Christian mentioned, and as a defense, we would often talk about getting a guy off the spot. You'd put him in that sort of classification of guys that you don't want stepping up to that imaginary X on the ground at about 5 yards. So you see a lot of the pass rushers for the Redskins making inside moves. The threat of Ryan breaking the pocket and making a play outside the pocket is much less. So they feel more apt to be aggressive, to make moves inside and make it so he can't step into those throws.
Opportunity on 3rd down here. Mallett steps up, throws complete to Kenbrell Tompkins, where he'll have a 1st down as they keep the clock rolling with 12 seconds now left to go here in the first half, and we get a timeout called by the New England Patriots.
You know, and throws like that make you say to yourself, look at the arm of this kid. I mean, this guy, he wasn't looking anywhere else. He was going to Kenbrell Tompkins the entire time. 2 bad plays in a row, missed the screen pass, wide open, but watch him here. No pressure, easy throw, step into it, rocket for an arm, great throw, great catch, move the chains.
You know, the guys, he's starting to remind me a lot of a guy who's had a lot of success in the NFL, but that had the short area inconsistency issues. I see a little bit of Jay Cutler in Ryan. He'll throw the rocket arm play that wows you, but you saw the touch on the screen play. He was thrown as if it was an in cut. You saw some of the other inconsistencies, but you definitely can see, Christian, that there's something there. You just need to see the reps to continue to see the growth.
There's another throw. He's going to throw the deep ball down the middle, and it's covered nicely. Intended for Tompkins, broken up by the Redskins. Now getting back, A little more on Mallett. Bill Belichick, when we asked him about him this morning, said he's had a good training camp, just needs to play. And that's kind of one of the big things here. He's been good, Bill said. Always different, though, than when they hit you in the mouth. That's kind of what you know. And it looks like he just needs reps here to kind of get the wrinkles out. But he can't afford them here because of the health of Tom Brady.
Well, you know, and it's more than just being able to throw the football if you're a quarterback. You're the CEO of this organization. You're the CEO of the team, really. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's trying to see what your mannerisms are, how you're handling yourself. Are you getting down? Are you bummed out that you threw a couple incompletions? I mean, can you take a hit? Can you get back up? The team needs to see that from you. So they're going to go inside. They're going to regroup, really looking for good things, consistency out of Ryan Mallett.
Well, they come up scoreless in the first half to the New England Patriots. Lots of starters sitting out, resting. As we go to halftime, stay tuned for the Geico halftime report coming up after these messages. The Patriots down 13-0. Getting set to start the second half. The Patriots trail the Washington Redskins 13-0. Ryan Mallett in the first half. A little bit inconsistent, some good throws, some not so good throws. 5 for 12, 55 yards, sacked once. See if he can get the offense going to start the second half. Again, Tom Brady not starting tonight. One of numerous starters getting rest after a week of joint practices. All right, it's time now for the halftime interview brought to you by Optum, a health services and technology company on a mission to help make healthcare healthier. To learn more, visit Optum.com.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Patriot head coach Bill Belichick. And coach, let me ask you this. How do you get Ryan Mallett to settle down? Do you think he's pressing a little bit at all?
I just don't think we're really doing much of anything well. We got to just play better all the way across the board on offense, defense, special teams. And, we'll see how we're going to go here in the second half.
Your evaluation so far, I mean, what do you hope to accomplish in that second half?
Well, I hope we can just get into a little bit of a rhythm and, get a couple drives going, play a little better defensively and get some field position.
All right, coach, go get it.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Second half. Coach Belichick, our guest, let's sit it back upstairs, guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. Kick for Gostkowski. Start the second half, taken by the Redskins. Sean Ross. That's the 15-20, 25-30, still on his feet. Knocked down at about 35-yard line. I think Bill Belichick hit it on the head right there with Steve. They didn't do much of anything. And we're talking and focusing on Mallett, but this team, offense, defense, special teams, didn't do a lot there in that first half, Christian.
Yeah, they couldn't run the football, couldn't stay ahead of downs. And when they had opportunities to make a play, they made some of them, but just not enough to continue drives. Now, Mallett needs to get in a rhythm, and he said it. As soon as he makes one first down, hopefully he can get another one, get the running game going. He has not had this defense of the Washington Redskins on their heels at all so far. See if the defense can stop him, give the ball back to the offense, and see if they can make some points.
Colt McCoy, heard that name before. Getting the start here in the second half for the Redskins as they run the football, which they did effectively at times in that first half. And doing a nice job still on his feet is Silas Redd, undrafted free agent out of USC.
They press this front side. Watch this front side. They're going to go right towards Fleming. Press him, ball movement. Here comes the play. Got to make that tackle. Get your head up. Can't allow that guy to get upfield.
And one of the situations we often talk about, guys, as an edge player is shortening the edge. Being outside or being in contain isn't necessarily okay. You also need to shorten the quarter so the defense doesn't have to run laterally.
Second and 4 at the 41. McCoy rolls out, fires the ball complete. It'll be close to a first down. Gabe Miller, second-year player out of Oregon State with the reception. Chris White with the hit for the Patriots.
And the Redskins aren't really doing anything different than they did in the first half of the game. They're pressing the front end. They're trying to run those stretch plays, a little misdirection every now and then. Then you come back with a fullback in the flat.
It'll be a first down for the Redskins. What you're going to see now here for the Patriots, a lot of players, a lot of their depth. 90 players in camp, some injuries, a lot of starters getting rest. As Silas Redd runs the football and is stuffed pretty well there by this New England Patriots team. Now an opportunity for some guys to show what they've got here and show off some of their depth as these guys try to make this football team.
And I thought that was a good play by the defense. Everybody had their spots, everybody had their gaps. Giving it one way to go, they were able to feel the hole. Baharnas came in and made the play.
Yeah, it's one of those looks, guys, that if you squint, might be 1994. I mean, we have two backs in the backfield, direct run. Baharnas is a smaller linebacker, comes up, fills the hole, makes the play. That looked like old school football.
Second and 8, the 48. McCoy fires the ball complete. for the Redskins. And it's Niles Paul with the reception. Chris White on the stop.
And again, as soon as this ball comes out, watch Colt McCoy throw this ball out. Quick little hook route. There it is right there. Now you see it. Now you got to be on the beelines. Keep your pads underneath you. Don't overextend yourself. Keep your head up and wrap up. Use your hands. They're there for a reason.
Well, there's a situation there where Michael Buchanan overran the play. He had his buddy, but he missed it with his left shoulder.
3rd and 1, another opportunity for the defense of the Patriots. They don't get the job done against Silas Red. We all know Silas Red, Christian, the kid from Penn State, transferred under, the whole scandal at Penn State. Billy O'Brien, everything else, went to USC, and now having an opportunity here in the NFL.
Number 83 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
But Harness is having himself a nice little game. You saw him earlier filling the hole back to a la 1994. Watch him here again. Filling the hole. And he's blocked, so he's able to get off the block, stay on his man, and bring down Silas.
It's called button press, Christian. You got to get in there, and you have to put your face in the blender. You got to go in there and press a guy that weighs 50 pounds more than you and extend and still tackle after the play. That's a very nice play by a guy that's given up 50, 60, 70 pounds to the guy across from him who's trying to block him.
What do you see in Boharness, Matt?
Instincts. I see a guy whose first step is incredible. I see a guy who gets through traffic. I see a guy who offensive linemen have a difficult time locating. That's an asset.
3rd down, McCoy fires the ball complete near sideline, far sideline. Pushed out of bounds by Justin Green. Aldrick Robinson with the reception and a 1st down for the Redskins.
Wasn't bad coverage by Green, but it was a great pass by Colt McCoy and a really nice route. Stepping it, getting out of the break, ball's on him as soon as he turns around. Tough to cover a play like that.
I think that relates to your earlier point from the day, Christian. He had missed on the jam initially, and in recovery he was reaching. Once you got to get back in phase, you just got to go for the hip.
Dominating numbers you see there for the Redskins offense. There's a good play by the Pats defense, stepping up Logan Ryan to make the stop.
That play was made possible by Michael Buchanan. You see him, he's going to step up and just really take on this block and really allow Logan Ryan to be in the right position to make this play.
And you see Michael Buchanan essentially playing the defensive role over Ryan Mallett. I think we've seen him flash, do some exceptional stuff, but then you see some of the inconsistency. He's another guy, much like Ryan on the other side, that needs those reps. He needs to get in a groove where he's grading well on each and every snap.
2nd down, McCoy throws the ball. Nice pass. Complete to Silas Red. He's got some running room. Breaking tackles all the way down inside the 30-yard line, down near about the 27. Before he's finally tripped up by Justin Green. And again, the Redskins offense taking it right to the Pats defense.
Obviously a screen right here. Colt McCoy does a good job. Defensively, you gotta know when these offensive linemen kind of let you go past him, you got to know that something's up. A little big radar, big alert's got to go off in your head that screen's coming, reverse field, find the football.
This is something we'll have to watch throughout the course of the season. Screen was an issue last year. You get a great DB like Revis, that means you're playing more man, meaning your back might be to the quarterback.
Pickup of 18. McCoy's going to throw again on 1st down, fires it, and it is caught. Ryan Grant looks like he has the reception. And another big play by Washington. We got a flag on the play, though. Stay tuned.
Great coverage. Let's see if he can actually brings it down. Butler's in position. He's underneath it.
Number 26 for the defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is
that's a nice catch. But Butler in great position to make that play, and he has been most of the night.
Guy seems to have an instinct. He's essentially running routes for receivers, and he's not reaching and grabbing for the defensive back. He feels like he's in dominant position, and he's undercutting routes. It's a good sign. That's a veteran-looking guy that's out there at the first stage just running out in the NFL field for the first time.
Another pickup of 18 there. The penalty was on Logan Ryan. It was declined, and they'll run the football. It's Red again. It runs it into the middle of the Patriots defense. By the way, injury update from that first half. We saw Chris Jones, the outstanding defensive lineman in his 2nd year, go down. It's we're being told it's an ankle injury. His return is questionable. So let's hope for the best here when it comes to Chris Jones. 6 sacks last year as a rookie, a big part of the depth of the Patriots football team. Second and goal at the 7 from McCoy, leading his offense. Opening drive for the Redskins here in the 3rd quarter. Throws the ball quickly out and in to the end zone. Nice play there. Complete from Colt McCoy to Ted Bozer. Touchdown Redskins, and they're up 19-0 against this Patriots defense.
And that's about as basic as it gets for a route for the tight end. Quick, easy stick route. Easy throw. Linebackers can't get over there. Colt McCoy makes a nice, easy read. Linebackers can't recover. This used to be the route that I used to run on Matt Chatham on a regular basis that he could never cover.
First shot has been thrown there, Matt.
Deflected.
Now here we
Ignored.
have the extra point during these first two preseason games from the 15-yard line, so it's a 33-yard extra point for those new rules they're trying. And it's down and it's right up the middle by Kai Forbath, and it's good. All right, early third quarter. Again, Patriots continue to struggle. See if the offense can get it going when we return.
We're going to get an opportunity here to do a little ISO on a young linebacker who's been an end-of-the-line guy, a defensive end, but he's walked out here. Michael Buchanan on the slot receiver. It's a 3-by-1 set. The route goes away from him. A veteran will feel that route and understand that there's got to be a return route beside you. You're not going to chase that to the flat because you're chasing it to a squat corner. You don't need to go with that. You just need to turn. He turns back. The other route falls directly into his lap. That's just a matter of repetition. That's understanding the pre-snap read of a 3-by-1, knowing that it's often a 3-man route combination that you're going to see, and you don't want to chase the guy you're over in his own coverage where there's already an outside defender before you.
There's a kick by Kai Forbath, and it goes out of bounds. Ugly. And we've got a penalty against the Redskins.
So I know, Matt, you talked about how he can't vacate that area, but if you look at when we see the replay again, you can sit there and go, Bo Harness was so far inside that was an easy route. The tight end either runs out of it or he turns around. Easy read for the quarterback.
Patriots have the football when we return. Welcome back. Preseason game number 1. Pats trail the Redskins 20-0, and some innovation here on the sidelines. We've all tried to do this, Christian. Search for answers on a tablet. This is what the Patriots are doing right now. Matt Patricia using the latest technology, looking at film. Tell us what he's doing here.
Well, I mean, listen, he's not going on Twitter. He's not texting. He's not going on Instagram. Instead of the paper coming down on the side and then printing out, looking at the reads and looking for that wide copy, got everything set up there right there on the tablet for him.
All right, we got a new quarterback here, Jimmy Garoppolo, second-round draft pick. His first attempt incomplete, should have been a completion intended for Justin Jones, the rookie tight end. But we've got Mr. Garoppolo. Gentlemen, take a look and tell us what you see.
Well, it wasn't the greatest pass by Garoppolo, but here's a guy that threw for over 5,000 yards in the season. Only the second guy in FCS history to be able to do that. So you know he has some touch. You know he's got an arm. He didn't really play against the toughest competition. You know, everything's a little bit faster for him now, but he's got a great arm. He's really smart, 4-year starter in college. And right now, he's shown that he has no fear of sticking the ball in there on those slant routes. Obviously, that first pass to Justin Jones wasn't a great pass, kind of a little bit behind him, but Justin Jones still should probably catch that pass. But again, he made up for it on that one with a nice quick slant route.
That's Jimmy Garoppolo's first completion in the NFL. 6'2", 225-pound rookie, as you mentioned, Christian. How about this? This is his first ever attended NFL game. He's never gone to an NFL game before until tonight. His family's here, and the kid's going to try to have some fun and make an impression. And he eludes some pressure. Now he gets slammed down, but we got flags everywhere. I saw a face mask. A couple of things there. We'll let the referee sort this one out here. Everett Brown with the push. We'll see what the call is, but a bunch of flags thrown there.
Yeah, it looked like there was a quick inside move by the defensive end on the tackle.
Two fouls on the play. Holding, number 38 in the defense. Holding, number 65 in the offense. Those penalties offset. Replay, third down.
Jordan Tevy, the rookie out of Memphis, called for the holding there. How about the offensive line? Some of these young guys here, you know, to go in this mix here with the Solder, Menken, Wendell, Conley, Volmer, which we've seen. Kind of important camp here for these youngsters.
Yeah, you got a new offensive line coach too right there. You saw him. And on the right-hand side, you got Cameron Fleming, you got John Halapio. Both guys drafted this year.
Roy Finch with the carry. Let's talk about him. And folks, I'm going to say this now. Here we go. His name is Dave DeGuglielmo as we go through the focus. Out of Lexington, he's got a lot of interesting things here. Taking over for Dante Scarnecchia Big part. He's coached 9 years in the NFL with the Giants, Dolphins, and Jets. A lot of local flavor. Coached at UConn, BC, BU. All New England O-linemen at BU from 87 to 90 and a native of Lexington, Mass. More on him in a moment as Jonas Gray gets the football and gets nowhere. Let's take a look at the man they call Googe.
And you see it right here. Here's the familiar. This is where Googe was, right here. If I can try and do this. He played with Brian Dable. Dable was the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive line coach. There's a familiarity with this offensive system. There shouldn't be that much for him to figure out.
And the pass by Garoppolo is complete to Boyce. He'll be close to a first down.
Here's what I like about Garoppolo. Just on the first series, he's getting the ball out quick. And that's what he was known for in college. He's not going to sit back there and just pat it and wait for it to go to sleep. He's going to sit there, find his open receiver, find a receiver, and get rid of it. Watch it. Ball snap, quick step, find it, get rid of it.
In the NFL, they call those 90 series. It's three-step passing, Christian. We always referred to it that way when you guys did it. It's basically as soon as that back foot hits, all the routes should be breaking. It makes the sets a little shorter for the offensive lineman. You know the ball's coming out. Very ideal for a young quarterback.
3rd and 2 at the 40. Patriots run the football. Get inside the 40. It'll be close to a first down. We'll see. Maybe just short. As Jonas Gray carried it, the rookie out of Notre Dame.
So, Jimmy Garoppolo playing in his first game with a bunch of rookies, a bunch of young guys.
Yeah, our yellow line that you see on our screen isn't official, but with our crew, 9 times out of 10, it's right. Here we go on first down for the Patriots. Here's Garoppolo, has time, throws deep. He's got a receiver open, and we've got still waiting for a ruling, an incomplete pass intended for Brian Timms. Timms thinks he had it. We've got a flag down on the play. We'll wait and get a ruling.
This is about as good as you can throw this ball. This quick fade right. Watch, he's not even going to break stride. Right in his pocket right there. Oh, the ball bounces up, but I don't know if he thinks it hit him and it bounced up and caught it.
We need a better camera move, but that's a great job for by Timms. The concentration here is exceptional. Let's find out if the point of the ball catches the turf here on the backside of this roll. We don't get it there from that replay. But, you know, Garoppolo made a decision there to go ahead and go deep. I think one of the lessons he'll learn as he gets a little older is, they're calling it a completion ball. He had a check down as well, but you see the young guy not afraid to go for the downfield route when he had the other easier option available to him.
The call here is a pass interference on Chase Minifield. The Patriots get the ball, 1st and goal, and go nowhere. But getting back to that play, that was a great throw and a great route run there by Timms, who beat the defender inside. Minifield, nice play and a nice sight there from the rookie on that pass.
Yeah, this guy threw the ball a lot. I mean, a lot at Eastern Illinois, and he threw 53 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions in 14 games. So you know he's careful with the football. He's making good decisions. He's giving his receivers great opportunities to catch the ball. I mean, that was not a wide open throw that he threw. I mean, that guy was completely covered, yet put it right in his head.
2nd and goal at the 6. Garoppolo fires. Incomplete. Intended for Timms again, and it will be 3rd down. I'll tell you one thing, Garoppolo hasn't gotten a lot of reps so far in training camp. Very limited reps in the joint practices down here, but he almost looks like one of those players. And again, it's very early here as I state this, but he looks a little different here in a game, Christian. He has that little that game thing to him.
Yeah, and he was holding on to the ball a little bit too long in practice. He was behind some throws, but tonight he looks great.
3rd and goal at the Redskins 6. Patriots trying to get on the board here in the 3rd quarter under Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to run the football. That's Finch. Gets nowhere, down to the 4-yard line. And the Patriots will go for it. Josh McDaniel saying, stay out there, Jimmy.
Yeah, preseason, you know, what's the big deal? You're down 20 points. Let's see what the young guy can do. I hope he throws it. Hope he finds an isolation, finds a mismatch.
Jimmy wants a touchdown.
And he spent most of his career in the shotgun, so this is where he feels comfortable.
Crowd on its feet, Redskin fans. Some of the best in the NFL. Garoppolo tries to elude pressure. Still on his feet. Throws. Incomplete. Intended for Josh Boyce. Chase Minifield with a stop. The Patriots will turn the ball over with a near miss. And the defense will come out again. Patriots trail it 20-0 here in the third quarter. Well, we get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo, second-round draft pick this year for the Patriots. Josh McDaniels chatting with him. Pretty good drive, 10 plays, 56 yards, 502. It fails down short. For more, let's go to Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Andy Hart. Andy?
Well, Dan, I think we got a boost of excitement around Jimmy Garoppolo around draft time, the heir apparent to Tom Brady, and then that faded in the first 2 weeks of training camp because he was not very good. He missed a lot of throws, didn't look like he could run the offense. Well, I think the excitement's probably going to be back after that first drive tonight. Pretty accurate. We saw that timing throw, boom, drop and throw, and then the deep ball, which probably should have ended up a touchdown. That was an impressive drive, and I think that's going to get the Garoppolo fans excited again.
I agree. I thought he looked very good as we've got a flag thrown on the opportunity here for the Redskins from Silas Red. And let's go back to that big play. Take a look at that.
Offside, defense number the right end.
Let's go to Paul Pearl.
This is the kind of
first down.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of play Bill Belichick probably would have challenged in the regular season. Maybe he didn't get a good enough look. Maybe he got a little deceived with the penalty. He figured they were down there anyway, but I think regular season time, you might have seen the red flag. I think he catches this ball. I don't think it ever hit the ground. Terrific catch by Timms.
Oh, Bill Belichick hoping he finds something in Jimmy Garoppolo. Redskins ball after the penalty. First down 5. Here's Colt McCoy going to the air again. And it is caught by Rashad Ross. And we've got a flag on the play. As it was defended by Travis Hawkins.
It looks like Hawkins was in a good position to make the play, but he came out a little too
Illegal
flat.
contact. Defense number 43. That penalty's declined. It's over the play as a first down.
Called it on Nate Ebner, I believe. It's Ebner and Hawkins perhaps in on the play, but again, illegal hands. We heard that a lot this morning. We spoke with the officials in the NFL. It's going to be called a little bit more. Let's take a look.
Again, they're going to be calling everything. We go over it, they emphasize it, they bring in new rules. I mean, if it's even a hint of you putting your hands in the face or holding on to them, I mean, you know, Matt, we talk about it, we joke about it. You almost have to tap the guy on the shoulder and tell him what you're going to do so he doesn't hold you.
Invariably, we're sitting out here in a giant stadium, a gorgeous facility, 70, 80,000 people or whatever, and you know, they're not here to see that. They can make the points of emphasis, but and it's one thing to get these things on paper to try to make the threat for earlier, to try to calm the play, but at the end of the day, we're not here to watch the officials. The people aren't here to watch that stuff. So there's a lot of laundry out, but it doesn't make for good viewing, not good football. So they've made their point, but I think the ticky-tack stuff is really sort of cuts to the throat of why we're out here and why we watch and play football.
Second down from McCoy near midfield. Fires, complete to Red. He's hit hard and brought down by the veteran James Anderson.
James Anderson's an interesting story. He's a guy that was virtually an every down player in Chicago, but has that sort of smaller body type, comparable to what we talked about earlier with Steve Boharnis. He's a guy that here looks like he's falling into a role of potentially a nickel linebacker, potentially a guy who's more of a quote-unquote coverage linebacker, but that would force him to also be a special teams player, something he wouldn't have had to do as an every down player in Chicago. So he's got a bit of a transition here to make this roster.
Third down opportunity for the defense. McCoy fires. Complete. And it'll be near a first down. Looks like it might be a little bit short. Lee Doss on the reception. Now they're saying it's incomplete.
Yeah, not sure that he held on to it.
Nope. Got banged by Ebner on the play. Nice play by Ebner and knocks it incomplete. And it'll be fourth down for the Redskins. So the Patriots defense comes up with a stop. And we get a chance to see Garoppolo again. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. I'm trying to see if he can finish what he started there in the third quarter.
I almost took that back. Finch, the rookie, Roy Finch, had the ball, dropped it, but recovered it again. And the Patriots will get the football here, it looks like, as they sort things out.
Roy Finch had the earlier fumble on the kickoff return that he lost that was actually nullified based on the fact that Washington was offsides on the kickoff, got another chance, made up for it. And again, he fumbles it on this punt return also.
Got a flag on the play. We'll sort that out too as we await the return of Garoppolo.
You know what? You know, Matt, I was going to ask you and the boys in the back home, who does Jimmy Garoppolo remind you of as a rookie in a second year? A quarterback who was here and left and had success on another team.
Is this trivia, or you're looking for?
No, I'm looking for you to tell me, because I'm just watching him play more the same.
Invalid fair catch signal. Number 29 of the return team. It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Give me some
New England.
time to chew on that, Christian. Maybe I can come up with a better one. I see some of those qualities, though. You're right.
Well,
penalty against Finch, but the Patriots still have the ball when we return. A tough night for the rookie. See if another rookie can get the Pats offense going again. Here's your Bose Pump Up playlist. Julian Edelman has Aerosmith's Sweet Emotion on his playlist. You can check out players' favorite songs on Patriots.com this season as part of the Bose Pump Up playlist. Yeah, a little bit of a sweet emotion there from Julian Edelman. Trying to talk to his rookie, Roy Finch, who's had some miscues tonight. Chatting it up now. Patriots ball. Garoppolo complete to Brian Timms out near the 20-yard line as we see series number 2 from the rookie, second-round pick, attending his first NFL game.
And watch this again. Watch Timms get inside real quick. Nice move. Great throw. Give it to him. Let him run. And it's really quite simple playing quarterback, really, when you think about it. All you have to find the open receiver, just throw it in there. It's wide open. Just do that. It's like playing catch in your backyard.
Patriots run the football this time.
I think one of the
Stephen Houston with the carry there. Excuse me, Matt.
No, excuse me, Danny. I think one of the interesting elements here is we've got, Josh McDaniels is calling a little bit different game when he gets the other body type in there. You see much more of the quick stuff, the stuff we talked about where the back foot hits and the ball comes out. You get more 5-step with Ryan. Ryan Mallett's getting the more pro style, deep pocket. Need him to step up. The ball's not coming out because the route designs are a little deeper. Josh is sort of factoring his offense around his personnel at this point.
2nd and 8, and Stephen Houston again with the carry. Again, the rookie, undrafted free agent out of Indiana. And that should do it for the third quarter. A little bit of excitement here in the third from Jimmy Garoppolo. At the end of 3, Washington leads New England 20-0. We'll be back with more of the Patriots preseason television network after these messages.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
All right, listen, you get a tablet like that, it's so easy to kind of let your guys, figure out what they're going on. Brendan Daly, defensive assistant, coaching up the guys on the sideline. How about the tablet, huh? There's these things you can do with that thing.
On the throw, it's Timms wide open, but a flag is down as he brings it down inside the 20-yard line on the throw from Garoppolo. Peyton Thompson will wait and see what the call is here, but another big play from Garoppolo to Timms.
Right off the bat, you're thinking illegal contact, maybe some holding. Timms got by him pretty quickly.
Before the pass, holding defense, number 34. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Brian Timms out of Florida A&M with the reception, having a good night so far. 53 yards on the play. They run the football. Stephen Houston on the carry for New England, and we've got a late fumble here. We'll see what the official call is. I believe he was down, but we'll wait and get the call as we see a scrum unfold. What a late reaction here. Now they're going to say the Washington Redskins have the football as Stephen Houston coughs it up. Hakeem Jordan with the recovery. What do we see here?
Trying to see where he lost the ball. Right there. Oh, he's just going to get his hand right on it and flick it out. And that's a great job by the defense. I mean, that's a tough situation, you know. Coming right through, trying to get some extra yardage. Great job by the defensive secondary.
Turnover for the Patriots. Redskins ball will be returned. Hold on a minute here as they're taking a look at this play on the turnover to see if indeed it was a fumble. Awfully close in my mind on the knee going down here just as the ball was coming loose. Take a look.
Let's see if his knee comes down. Ball is out. Well, the ball's out. No, I don't think his knee's down. Yeah, but it's funny because the ball's sitting there on the ground and nobody knows it's even loose.
Christian, tell viewers, when you feel that sort of second arm, you know, he's going in with one, which is correct. He's got to put away the 4 points of pressure, all that kind of stuff. What's the other arm supposed to be doing once he gets down in sort of that scrum? Do they tell you to cover it with two, or do they tell you to stick with one and just squeeze? How's that work?
You go ahead and you put that other hand on that ball and just fall hard and know that it's probably going to hurt, but it's better to hurt yourself than give up that ball.
And here's what happens now as you watch this unfold. The referee can now consult with a senior official at the command center in New York. Something new here as part of the new plan. Dean Blandino's back in New York and expected to help speed up the process, actually. One person in New York dedicated to watching this game.
The play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was up when the ball was torn loose.
Word from the space station.
So Jeff Triplett gets the call there, and he gets some help from New York as Dean Blandino and another gentleman overseeing and communicating with the ref, Jeff Triplett, at this game, trying to speed up that process, Christian.
I think one of the concerns, guys, we had was, okay, they're going to do the command center. We're going to get word from the space station, but is that going to affect the overall time component here? Will that actually take longer? The NFL argues that by virtue of doing that, the decision is being made as you're walking in and out of the hood, as opposed to having to go there and begin the communication. It's supposed to cut down on the time of these reviews.
Yeah, the goal is to get it done in 60 seconds. A big run by the Redskins. They carry the football. Latch Seastrunk out of Baylor. Butler on the tackle.
Lake Seastrunk out of Baylor. Used to be at Washington. Very fast running back. Finds a seam. Nice cut. Look at that lateral movement. Very fast defense. Very fast running back.
Remember how much talk there was going to be about the whole pistol offense, and we saw that little odd configuration there. We don't see a ton of it, but with RG3 sort of at the head of this offense, you're going to see a little bit of those elements.
19 yards for Lake Seastrunk on the carry there. They run it one more time. Seastrunk again. Patriots will try to make a stop here.
Coach Belichick referenced this in our meetings this week in preparation for the game, that this is good preparation for them because of the people that will pop up on their schedule. Some of these odd, funky stuff that you see from this particular offense will translate to other stuff you'll see down the road. I know the Jets are going to be one of those teams, potentially some of the other ones down the road that like a little more move the pocket, but that will use some of the unique elements by motion, by formation, by back alignment to try to confuse the defense as much as they do.
Another run here. Seastrunk to the outside, has some room. Looks like he's got another first down. You know, Jay Gruden, a new coach here, taking over from Mike Shanahan, coming out of the system of the Cincinnati Bengals. Spent the last 3 seasons as offensive coordinator there. And he's got some wrinkles. Patriots do play the Cincinnati Bengals in the 6th week. So, as you mentioned, Matt, maybe it's a good kind of pre-test here to some of the things that they may see.
Yeah, and essentially Jordan Reed is your undersized, quote-unquote, tight end that looks like a wide receiver, makes the defense have to decide, are we going to call this a one tight end, a no tight end kind of personnel. Got a false start here, but the way that translates to a team like Cincinnati later down the road is, I believe Jermaine Gresham, am I getting the name correct? He's that same guy. He's the personality on the field that, yeah, it says in your program he's a tight end, but how are we going to treat these personnel groupings? So the Patriots as a defense right now have to go out and say, hey, well, Jordan Reed, are we calling him a tight end, or are we going to call that an additional wide receiver, which might prompt a personnel group changing for us. We might call it a play that we would treat a sub. We're going to go ahead and face that with nickel as opposed to regular. So it's good work for what's ahead down the road.
And there goes Seastrunk again. Has some running room inside the 40-yard line, out at about the 35, where he's finally brought down on the play by Hawkins. But Seastrunk tearing up this Patriots defense here on this drive.
Well, the defense is over pursuing this play. They've been running this play all day. Watch Zach Moore go down, tight end blocks down. Seastrunk sees the crease, gets outside, and he's so fast it's hard to catch up to him. But a great job watch him. Sees the cut, gets upfield, makes another lateral movement, and he's so fast. I don't think they are aware how fast that kid really is.
And again, the Patriots will play Cincinnati, Week 5, Sunday night game at home. More running from the Redskins, something they're known for and have been known for over the years. This time it's Silas Redd on the carry. Seastrunk gets a bit of a break.
Redskins have a ton of backs. I mean, Alfred Morris and Roy Halou, and Royster. I mean, Lake Seastrunk obviously being a rookie. Silas Redd. I mean, they have a lot of depth at running back. And the Patriots obviously, no tackling, not a lot of tackling in practice so far, getting a heavy dose of run play action right at him.
Dominating yards right there. You see it. Redskins offense has been pretty successful this evening, leading 20-0 here in preseason game number 1. Now the carry right up the gut. This time it's Silas Redd. They churn deep into Patriots territory and another first down.
The offensive line of the Washington Redskins is really getting a good push, giving them nice big holes. And I don't know what you're seeing down there, Matt. It looks like this defense is a little bit tired, kind of playing on their heels a little bit. Not as quite as much punch, not as much attacking the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think one of the things that happens early in these preseason games is you get acclimated in practice to punching a guy and reaching off and tagging him as he runs by. But one of the issues we're seeing here is guys that aren't separating for the block and falling off and making the tackle. They're kind of in the spot. They're holding their gap, but you have to release and you have to make the play. And that's something that just doesn't translate until you're out here and you've done it a little bit. So look for that to be something that certainly needs to improve. The guys that are so good at that are your Tommy Kellys and your Vince and even actually Chris Jones, who's now down. So some of these young guys need to learn that, it's not okay to just poke my head in the hole, which would get me the nice grade in practice, but the evolution, the next point is essentially getting off those blocks and making plays. That's real football.
After a gain of 13, a slip by Seastrunk, and a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 at the 20-yard line. McCoy, another run. Chase down, back inside the 20, down to about the 16, and again it's Seastrunk.
It's one of those things, guys, too, where, Christian, you can vouch for this as much as anything, but when we get into this part of the game, the offensive scheme for young guys really simplifies. Defensively, they're probably relying on 2, 3, 4 basic calls. It's a front and maybe cover 2, or a front and cover 1. Offensively, we're seeing the 1994 stuff. You might have actually had these plays on your Tecmo Bowl back in the day, but it gives guys an opportunity to just not be confused and simply show what I can do on both sides of the ball.
Third down opportunity here. 9 minutes to go here in the contest. McCoy pressured, finally brought down. Finally some Patriots pressure. They get to the quarterback and we get a sack. Looks like Michael Buchanan will get credit with that one.
The one thing about Michael Buchanan, he's got a nice, great motor. He got a good jump off the line of scrimmage to get after this, beats the tackle. Colt McCoy tries to kind of sneak up and avoid it, but with a great pursuit, he doesn't allow him to get away from him.
Second year, defensive end out of Illinois.
You saw that
Patriots' first sack of the night.
You saw that a lot out of Buchanan last year, especially in the last preseason game. I think that was a big reason why he made this team. His effort that he gave on every down, especially on third downs.
Zach Hawker with the field goal. It's good. 39 yards, but the Patriots get their first sack of the night. The offense when we return. All right, back here at FedEx Field, let's go to Paul Perillo and Andy Hart. Gentlemen.
When I think one of the roles that this team is looking to fill is that LeGarrette Blount. Remember late last year, he was a key part of the offense. That big back is gone now. Stephen Houston's a guy that looks like he could fill that mold, but when you put the ball on the ground and your first limited carries in the first game of the preseason, that's not a good first step.
It's interesting. Stephen Houston was The reason why he's undrafted free agent out of Indiana, Ivan Fears, the running back coach for the Patriots, went out and worked him out in Indiana to take a look at him. And when he didn't get drafted, Houston was so impressed with the fact that Fears came out, worked him out, talked to him, said, you know what, I'm going to go give it to New England and give it a shot. Kind of one of those lasting impressions. Here's the kickoff, and here's the return. Travis Hawkins out to the 15, still on his feet, 20. Has some room, but a flag down. Goes to the 35, near the 40. But again, a flag down on the play. Pretty nice return by Hawkins.
Holding number 99 in the return team after the assist to the goal, first down.
Make a good play, make a bad play.
Yeah, I know that play doesn't count, but I mean, Travis Hawkins, here's a guy that has 4.3 speed.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. When we return, Jimmy Garoppolo and the Patriots offense.
Welcome back to FedEx Field, everyone. The Patriots down 23-0 in the fourth quarter. Time now for our Pepsi close-up. We're going to look at a linebacker, Steve Boharnis. He has been all over the field. The guy's got 9 tackles. He's done a good job tonight. Patriots as a whole just got to keep trying to get things going late in the fourth quarter. But this guy has been all over the field. He's a player that Matt Chatham picked as a player to watch, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think what I've liked about Steve and what we've seen, and we discussed it a bit in the last round, is the guys that need to separate. He's a guy that separated from his block and found his way to the ball.
Our player close-up is brought to you by Pepsi, official soft drink of the New England Patriots, as Garoppolo scrambles for a first down as he comes out and leads the offense. But Boharnis, again, pretty impressive here. One of the impressive players for this Patriots tonight.
Yeah, he only had 1 defensive snap last year, but here's a guy that's just got a good motor, you know, staying positive, you know, always going to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and I like what I see in Boharnis. I also like what I see in Garoppolo, too, is moving the ball. But you know what? The defense has to step up. Granted, it's the first game of the season, the preseason. Not a lot of starters, but I like what I see in Boharnis, if there's one positive.
Yeah, and you know what? I was trying to sort of rack the brain and think of an old player that you all might remember, a reference. A guy I think he reminds me of a bit is Gary Brackett. You remember Gary? We both played against him, Christian. He was the Colts middle linebacker, an undrafted guy that rose to become a captain later. Had that same sort of nose to the ball. The measurables weren't off the charts, but he became sort of a leader because he was very difficult to block. He wasn't blowing anyone off the ball, but he had a nose for the ball. The guys that can make plays and are difficult for offensive linemen to locate, they generally find lives here in this NFL.
All right, 3rd down and 1 for Garoppolo, and his offense throws the ball deep, and it is just over the fingertips of Roy Finch, as Garoppolo had scrambled for close to a first down, and they just missed on the 3rd down and 1 opportunity. Thank you, Steve Burton. We'll see you on our post-game show in the 5th quarter. Looking forward to that. As always, we'll have that for you.
And that was another nice little wheel route by Finch. Just missed him, just out of his reach.
It'll be Ryan Allen into punt for New England on his goal line. It's it high up there midfield. Fair catch taken by Richard Crawford. And the Redskins will have the ball. 1st and 10 with 6:42 left to go. Here in this one, the Patriots just can't seem to get any offense generated. They trail 23-0. All right, time for our Ace Ticket upcoming game. The next broadcast brought to you by Ace Ticket, the official fan travel partner of the Patriots. For information, call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit aceticket.com. Next Friday, the Patriots will be at home to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern Time here on the Patriots Preseason Network. Brady didn't play tonight, but look at all the signs, all the love. Everywhere you go here tonight, they're all loving Tom Brady.
Yeah, and there were a lot of them at practice also. You almost thought it was a neutral site scrimmage. I mean, but how about that camp? I mean, that was like a carnival-like atmosphere with all the food you can buy, funnel cakes, ice cream, chicken wings. You name it, you could get it there.
No crepe fries, though, Chris.
No crepe.
Number 12 turned 37 this week. They had over 21,000 fans, largest crowd they had at the Redskins training facility for the joint practice on Tuesday. And they were every move that Tom Brady made, everybody watched and wanted. The one thing it was clear to see again, we did this with the Philadelphia Eagles last year, was just how far head and shoulders Tom Brady is above everyone else on that football field when it comes to the quarterbacking. Even though RG3 is out there, number 12, even at the age of 37, showing no signs of slowing down.
I mean, they got so many reps, and it was so hot on that Tuesday when they had, what, 90 plays. I think Brady had about 70 of them. They were running 2 different groups. That's why they were out there for 3 hours. I mean, you don't see practices like that. You talk about going back to 1994. That felt like a 1978 practice the way they were going.
And Tom Brady said it was great for the team, physical, mental toughness. And he said, yes, 80 to 90 reps both Monday and Tuesday. He said, that's more than I get in a week. So the reason why you're seeing him not play tonight is right that. Here's more running by the Washington Redskins. They've done a lot of that tonight. Silas Red on the carry down deep into Patriots territory.
That was a situation, guys, where we're back into sort of the old school football. You have basically an 8-man box here. It's 3-4 defense, but look, the safety's down in the box. When the cutback goes away from the safety, there isn't much back there. When he makes that quick jump cut and goes to roll, it's basically him and the free safety. So you have to make that open field tackle because you've really loaded the box to take away something play side, but the cut goes backside. There's got to be pursuit and there's got to be open field tackling or it goes all the way.
First and 10 on the 27-yard line of the Patriots for the Redskins, who lead this one 23-0. They've been impressive here, preseason game number 1. Another carry for the Redskins. And guys, I guess as we start to wind down, what do you take from this one if you're the New England Patriots, where you saw a lot of their starters, because of what we talked about Monday and Tuesday, rest up here? What do you take if you're Bill Belichick and company from tonight?
Well, I think initially you got some of your best work on Monday and Tuesday. And I think maybe the team was a little tired, but Ryan Mallett obviously stands out. They weren't able to get the running game going. When he had open receivers, he couldn't hit them. He did some good things, but just wasn't enough of consistency in his play, and that's really been the knock on him since he got here. Defensively, they're going to need to be stronger at the point of attack. I know the number 1s weren't out there, but when Washington's number 1s were out there, they pretty much had their way with the offensive, with the defensive line. But again, so much work done on Monday and Tuesday. You knew the team was going to be tired, But again, Washington was out there also. But again, happy to see Garoppolo get in there. Excited to see what he was able to do after really struggling throughout most of camp so far.
Well, I like the initial point about the inconsistency with Mallett. Garoppolo was fun to watch, but I think we did see what the necessity is when Ryan's in the game. You need to get the consistency, which means you need to get moving on first down. You need to have drive starters. It needs to be, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4. There needs to be a positive play. He's really one of those traditional pocket quarterbacks that needs the running game, needs it to have the complement there, because with the rifle arm that he has, hard sell play action is an absolute weapon for him. And it doesn't make him have to drop back on 2nd and 10 and hit the short intermediate routes that aren't really his strength. I think we've seen that. Those were most of where his incompletions came. So he's the kind of guy that, in the right situation, we didn't get to see a lot of Stephen Ridley get rolling. We didn't get to see a lot of Shane Vereen. We didn't get to see a lot of the traditional running game that really assists a quarterback like him. I think he's the kind of guy that, with that, you'll get to see some of the brighter spots.
4th and 2 on the 19. The Redskins will go for it, and they won't get it. Jumping up and making a play for the Patriots. Nicely done by New England as they get a defensive stop for the Patriots. When we come back, Patriots offense to wrap things up. Time now for the Toyota Drive of the Game, brought to you by the official truck of the New England Patriots, the Toyota Tundra. Tundra, quality that helps you build anything. We started from Jimmy Garoppolo. Bit of excitement here. 10 plays, 56 yards, 5 minutes. Garoppolo 2 of 5 for 15 yards, but this was the big play. Pass interference put the Patriots in good position. They didn't get a touchdown or a score, as you see, as they couldn't convert on 4th down, but excitement. We saw that from Jimmy Garoppolo here, the 2nd-round draft pick this year from the New England Patriots.
Yeah, keeping plays alive, making things happen, and not just taking his drops, making his plays, not seeing ghosts, giving his receivers opportunities to catch the ball and make plays. When he gets flushed from the pocket, he's getting upfield, he's sliding. Good opportunity for him in a 2-minute situation if we get to that, and to see him how he moves the team down the field.
And the Patriots run the football. It's Finch on the carry. And he gets out to about the 25-yard line. Deontay Skinner, by the way, for the Patriots made that play. And they forced the turnover on downs on the 4th down play. As we come to the 2-minute warning here in this one. which has basically been all Washington Redskins. But again, very early, preseason game number 1. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one. Stay with us. Patriots trailing by 23. Make sure you stay with us for our Toyota post-game show. Brought to you by Toyota, where we'll recap tonight's game, have stats, highlights, analysis, and much, much more here from FedEx Field in Washington. Landover, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital. The Washington Redskins lead at 23-0. Let's go back to our Bob's Discount Furniture studio. Get a final thought from Andy Hart and Paul Perillo.
Well, I think the thing that jumps off the field tonight is Patriots fans that were at camp this week know that the Patriots dominated the Redskins on both sides of the ball. Brady moved at ease down the field, and the defense was getting pressure all day long on the Redskins quarterbacks. Didn't exactly play out on the field tonight for our viewers, but I assure you the Patriots were dominant in the training camp joint practices.
Yeah, a couple of guys flashed me, a couple of younger guys. I talked about Malcolm Butler earlier. I thought Travis Hawkins showed a little bit of his speed. He's been working as a kickoff returner throughout training camp, so clearly that's something that Belichick likes about him. One thing of concern, preseason games are always about health. That interior of the defensive line. Chris Jones goes down tonight. Silver Salinga got banged up on the practice on Tuesday. He didn't practice on Wednesday, so maybe that depth at defensive tackle took a little bit of a hit.
All right, thank you, Paul and Andy. We'll see you next week as we have a home game. Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hope you'll join us for that one. Jimmy Garoppolo completes the pass for 11 yards to Brian Timms, and the pass is complete over the middle of the Van Hooser. Wilson with a flag on the play. Wait and see on that. But again, Garoppolo looked very impressive here so far for this Patriots team in his initial debut.
Yeah, you got a Redskins down on the field right now.
So Christian, you posed the question to me earlier. You brought up Matt Castle. I think that fits a bit. After chewing on it a bit, how do you feel about maybe a Rex Grossman, Cade McNown kind of feel? At the top end, if you hit the total potential, maybe it's a Steve Young body type. But I get kind of a feel, body mechanics, the way he has the escapability, but the height and the arm angle and all those kind of things. Maybe a Rex Grossman.
Yeah, I remember just watching and seeing Matt Castle when he was a younger player here. He just had that squirreliness about him where he can get out of jams, and things always kind of worked out for him. He, just like Garoppolo had in the beginning of the third quarter, he gets out of a jam and he finds a way to give his team an opportunity to make a play. Maybe it doesn't happen, but he just always found a way to get out of a jam.
Adrian Robinson goes out with the injury. 16-yard gain on the play. The penalty against Washington declined. Here's Garoppolo again. Has time, fires it complete.
He has got that route down. Him and Timms are talk about a connection right now. Tim has run that same route at least 3 times, and every time Jimmy Garoppolo has hit him. He's timing it up. He's running the route perfectly. Garoppolo's looking him off, waiting for him to break and throwing it before he makes his cut.
Again, another throw, a little high, but Finch takes it. Gets down inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line as time continues to wind down here, but Garoppolo moving the offense, and we get a timeout.
We know that Finch has had the mistakes, but I think you can also see the explosiveness in that guy's feet. He's got some pop. He bounces in and out of cuts. You can see sort of the uniqueness to his style. It's not like much else on this offense. It actually reminds me a little bit of a young Leon Washington. I know we saw him last year, sort of the tail end of his career, but the kid does look like he has potential. He's going to have to learn to put the ball away and do all the little things, but Finch does have that it thing. Just needs to sort of be a little safer with that football.
Undrafted free agent out of Oklahoma, only 5'7", but has shown some flair here tonight. And again, a kid, a rookie, has made some mistakes, ups and downs. Kind of, what you're seeing here tonight in that first preseason game is kind of a lot of things that can happen to these kids out here. 1:29 to go. Garoppolo again on second down, looking for the end zone, and it is caught.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
We've seen that before. This time for a touchdown, the Patriots get on the board. "26 yards on the play, and Jimmy Garoppolo has the touchdown pass.
I think one of the things we learn here, guys, is that, there are gamers in the NFL. There are intangibles. We didn't see a lot of this in practice over the last several weeks. this is a guy who's really stepped up and done things that we didn't necessarily see him do in team drills, and that's the quality you want. You know, a guy that's great at drills, but that doesn't translate it here. You'd much rather have one like this. I mean, Jimmy has really sort of asserted himself. You're getting easier defenses, easier offenses, but you're finding a relationship with Timms here in this particular situation. But he's throwing nice ball, he's throwing with accuracy, and he's been decisive. And Christian, you made that point earlier. I think that's really been his strength. He's made a decision, he's gone with it, and by and large, it's been the right call.
And the Patriots are going for the 2-point conversion, and this hasn't changed. They're going to go to the 2-yard line. So unlike the extra point, which is out to the 15-yard line, this stays at the 2-yard line, and the Patriots will go for the conversion here with Jimmy Garoppolo trying to make it a 23-8 contest. Garoppolo looks, throws in the corner, and it's just out of the reach of Derek Johnson, and it's incomplete. And guys, let's take a look at this touchdown pass to Timms. Tell me what you see here.
You know, watch this again. He's been beating his guys left and right all day on the out route, and he's just gonna go. Little hand fighting, little jockeying for position, but what a perfect throw. And look, hey, how you guys doing? This guy's gonna take the ball away from him. Give me that ball. Well, at least it's the Patriot. It's the first time I've ever seen a FedEx sleep, but we'll take it.
Well, he certainly delivered.
This is a great, talk about delivering. Jimmy Garoppolo has delivered. I mean, everything that he's done so far today has been spot on. His throws have been accurate. His decisions have been crisp and quick. On that drive, he's 4 for 5, 59 yards, completed his last 4 pass attempts. You can see he's excited. And we talked about getting a little spark. Look at that smile. Look at this kid. Doesn't have any clue how good he could possibly be. 5 plays, 78 yards, 1 minute.
He's got that quarterback look, no question. And by the way, Timms, undrafted free agent 2012, signed by San Francisco. Spent time on their practice squad, then with Miami and Cleveland, and now he's here with the Patriots. Was signed on July 27th. So he was a late addition to training camp here for New England, and Timms has been impressive as well as Garoppolo tonight.
I got you. I'm going to ditch the headset, though, and just go stick and go back and forth with him.
Got you, Matt. And we wind things down here in the fourth quarter.
I mean, it's funny, you know, a couple things that you notice right away. You know, you talk about, Finch, you know, with a little pop, you know, that little suddenness. I mean, this kid right here.
This kid's going to be talked about all week long, Chris.
Oh, man, we are going to just
light him up.
We are just going to completely just break it down left and right.
Sports Hub, he'll be all over it. See how it goes. Patriots defense out there. Final time that Seastrunk gets the ball for Washington with 1:14 left. And you know, this kid talked a lot. Patriots surprised a lot of people by taking him in the second round. There were many quarterbacks talked about in this draft, and when the name Garoppolo came out that early, a lot of people started to think successor to Tom Brady, and he will start to be groomed. That was the thinking of a lot of people.
Well, you know, first preseason game, played the second half against a bunch of young kids also. But here's what I like about it. He's not nervous. I mean, he's not worried about the surroundings. He's not affected about the fact that he's playing in the NFL. This is a guy who was a 4-year starter, leader of his team at Eastern Illinois, threw a bunch of touchdowns, didn't have a lot of interceptions, won a bunch of games. Regardless of the competition that he had, he's ready for this moment.
And it was his first NFL game that he ever attended. He showed up, did quite well for a kid. Tom Brady and the Patriots lose this one 23-6. Quiet night for Tom, but a big night for Garoppolo. And the Patriots come away with their first loss of the preseason. And they'll try to bounce back coming up next Friday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. But no question, Garoppolo the story, and we'll wait to see Revis and Brady next week. We'll come back with our Toyota postgame show. Stay with us for that.